Hello, my name is Bella, and this is going to be one of my first YouTube videos. I couldn't really think of much to do, so I thought, why not do a story time? I know a lot you're supposed to do an intro, tell who you are, but that's kind of boring, so yeah, I'm doing this instead. So a while back, I used to be obsessed with Facebook. I loved Facebook. And that's usually where I would meet new friends. And one day, this girl messaged me, and her name was Cyrus. I can't remember what she had as her last name, but her name was Cyrus, and she was from Australia. So she started talking to me. She was like, "Hey, how are you? I think you're really cute." And I was really flattered. She was pretty cute too. And so we started talking, more and more. And we talked online for about a month. And I ended up really liking her. She was a really cute, cool girl. She seemed innocent, very kind. And then I found out she was gay. And so I decided to ask her out to be my girlfriend. And I did. And she said yes. And we had a long distance relationship for about a month and a half. It was good. It was kind of hard because, we lived so far away. And so one day I'm going through Facebook. I look at her profile, and there's this new post, and it says Cyrus had died on this date. We'll miss her, all this stuff. And I'm just like, what? This has to be a joke. And so I message her, I'm hyperventilating at this point, and someone answers, and it's her mom. And she explains to me that Cyrus died, she committed suicide, and I took this really hard. I asked her mom how she did it, and she told me that she had locked herself in her room. And well, let's go back for a second. So when I was talking to Cyrus, she would tell me all the time that she was being bullied, and she cut herself, and everyone hated her because of her cuts. They would judge her a lot. And she lived by a beach, and she was afraid to go to the beach, and she only had a few friends. So I knew she was bullied, and I'd be there for her and stuff. So back to how she killed herself. She locked herself in her room. It was late at night, and she was cutting herself on her wrist, and I guess she had cut too deep in one of her veins and bled out and died. Her mom went to go to her room to check on her, and she noticed the door was locked, and she started freaking out, why she doesn't allow her to lock her door, she knows how suicidal she is and stuff. And so she started knocking on the door. She wouldn't answer. She tried to break open the door. Then eventually she got one of the neighbors to break down the door, and then they found her dead. So I started talking to her mom. Her mom would send me pictures of Cyrus, and I was just really heartbroken. And I'd write poems about her. I actually took one of her pictures I liked on her page of her and developed it into a physical picture, put it in a frame, all that. And there was a poetry slam, and I talked about her at the poetry slam, and just all this stuff. And then this other girl messages me, and she tells me that she was best friends with Cyrus, and she just was really heartbroken about the whole thing. And so I started talking to her, and I would like talk to her about my life, like what I was doing, and she'd tell me like she'd go on long walks all the time because she missed her friend and not come home very often. She would sleep on the streets, and she would sleep on the streets, and I felt really bad for her. And she was a really beautiful girl, like in her pictures and stuff. Like I would be there for her because she was also very depressed. And I could tell, like, eventually she started to like me more than a friend. And I kind of held back a little bit because I just lost my girlfriend, and it'd be weird to start talking to her friend in that way. And so we just kept talking as friends. I would tell her like what's happening in my life and stuff, and I had been talking to other girls, and I'd tell her about that and how things were doing, and she'd get really like protective and just like really, it was really kind of overwhelming. And eventually we just stopped talking. I don't know why. I just stopped talking to her mom and her friend and everything. Like everything kind of faded away. And then I get these messages from a few people asking, "Hey, so Little Panda Bella, that's my Facebook name. Why do you have all these pictures of my friend claiming that she's your girlfriend who died?" And I'm thinking, this is fucked up. Like, what are they talking about? Like, this is my girlfriend who had killed herself. Like, what's wrong with me sharing photos and expressing myself about this? And then this girl, her name is Sam. She's from Australia. And I checked her profile, and it turns out that this person named Cyrus, was a catfish. And Cyrus's mother and her friend and Cyrus, they were all the same person. And later on, I had confronted the catfish that I had actually been talking to the real girl. Her name was Sam. And she said, well, I've been doing this for a while to like a lot of people, and the reason I killed her off is because people are starting to notice that she was fake. And she told me this was like a social experiment. She would see how I would react, and she told me that I was the one person that was affected the most by it. That like I had the biggest like reaction, I guess. I don't know. So I guess she had done the same thing to a few other people. And it really just kind of blew my mind. Like, this girl Sam had sent me a video of her and her boyfriend, her explaining that she's not this girl Cyrus, and why the fuck, like, am I doing this? Like, am I a catfish? Like, and it like really hurt me. And it's just really crazy because I knew this girl named Cyrus, and it turns out the whole time she was fake, and I was being used for a social experiment. But the weird thing is, I always felt like she wasn't really dead. Like, she actually was still alive and I was being tricked, which is funny because it was the truth. When I did find out, yeah, it was just also crazy. But Cyrus, it's weird, even though I know she's fake and I know all these things, she's still real to me. Like, she still exists to me. And it's kind of devastating in some ways, but at the same time, it makes me happy that no one actually died. And I never discovered actually who the catfish was, but I've kind of come to terms with it. Like, whatever, like, crazy shit happens, and I'm just kind of at peace with it, but I still, like, see Cyrus as a real person. I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah, so that's my story. Thanks for watching. Leave comments, like, subscribe. Thank you, and goodbye.